Hello everybody, welcome to day 19 of Inktober, and today we may have a special guest, as you can see right here, but the prompt for the day is Scary Butterfly. Was that intimidating? Scary Butterfly! Yay. Okay. Alright, so anyway, I've sketched one out here, and we're going to ink it, kind of going fast and loose on this one tonight. Just want to knock it out and do a good drawing, but quick, on the quick side, a little bit on the quicker side tonight. So I'm going to start with a smaller pen. There we go. And we're going to see what happens. I kind of zoomed the camera out a little bit more, so hopefully that makes your viewing experience enhanced. Listen, if you do like these videos, make sure to give them a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel Creature Science Illustrated. Hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I go live or post a new video, and head on over to our Facebook channel Creature Science Illustrated community so that you can watch me and other people creating Inktober artwork, and hey, share some yourself right over there. It's a nice, friendly place to do all of that. All right, let's get down to it with our scary butterfly. That sounded a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I'm going to make a scary butterfly. I hope you like it. Sorry about that. My apologies to everyone out there. All right, so how do you make a scary butterfly? You know, I was looking for butterfly references. I didn't even try and look up scary butterfly, because is that even a thing? I don't know if that's even a thing. What I noticed, because I looked up cartoon butterflies just to get some ideas, how does one draw a cartoon butterfly? And you know what I found out? I don't know why this would surprise me, but I found out that cartoon butterflies are very inaccurate to the anatomy of the insect. Now, I realize that my butterfly is not going to be that accurate either, okay? I know this, but there are certain compromises that I just am not willing to make. For example, they're insects. That means 6 legs, 3 body parts. And so a lot of them out there are just 2 body parts, 2 legs, 4 legs. What are you doing? That's not a butterfly. Anyway, that's my little soapbox on that. I am familiar with butterflies. In a previous job, I was an entomology keeper at the St. Louis Zoo. Entomology is the scientific study of insects, and the animals that I was responsible for were insects as well as other terrestrial arthropods, or I should just say invertebrates. Not all of them were arthropods. But I did care for some butterflies in that collection, and they were pretty cool. If you go to the St. Louis Zoo these days, you will see an insectarium, which has a whole little miniature butterfly garden that you can roam in. So, pretty awesome. I wanted to give this guy, though, not a realistic looking butterfly schnoz or anything. I wanted it to be kind of creepy face looking butterfly here. So that's why you're seeing all of this. There we go. All right, let's get his head in there. It looks a little bit skeleton-like. Now, my mother is actually participating in Inktober on the Creature Science Illustrated channel. She is very talented, and she did her butterfly, and she included kind of a skull in the wings, which I thought was really clever. I didn't want to do that, but I did want to kind of get that sort of gaunt face, sort of Voldemort-looking face in there. So that's kind of what's going on here now. And also I wanted to represent the tongue, the proboscis, if you will, of the butterfly. It doesn't really hang out of a mouth per se. It kind of is the mouth of the actual butterfly, but I wanted to at least sort of represent that with a little teeny tiny bit of accuracy. and of course the antennas. Now, I could have done scary moth, chose not to do that. If you are ever wondering what the difference between a butterfly and a moth is, normally moths tend to be more active at night. Butterflies tend to be more active during the day, but there are certainly exceptions to this rule. So one way you can tell them apart is by their antenna, their antennae. And on the butterfly, they are going to be kind of like I drew them here, just these long, whippy antennas. On the moth, they are little furry, feathery looking things. So moths rely much more on them for their sense of, the best thing we could probably say is their sense of smell. It's the closest thing to what we would probably be able to relate to. All right, let's get his 6 legs. Now, I said insects have 6 legs, 3 body parts, so they have the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. And the legs always come off of the thorax. All 6 legs always come off of the thorax here. So just going to draw them. Now they are arthropods, so these are jointed legs with that exoskeleton. And so I wanted to represent that as well. That is what makes you an arthropod, having an exoskeleton. And if you have legs, and most of them do, they are jointed. It's kind of like a suit of armor, which is what kind of gives the arthropod its shape and its protection. How's that? That's pretty good. Okay, let's do this next leg here. This one should be a lot easier than the Medusa that I did. If you haven't seen that one, check that video out. I did not narrate it, but it was a really long video, and I think it came out pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get back to that one and color it digitally, maybe even with Copics down the road. But I definitely want to. I have some arthropods on my drawing mat here. I want to definitely get some color on that because I was fairly happy with how that one came out. Hopefully, I'll be saying that about this one. There we go. Does he look creepy? Does that look creepy? I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. Did I succeed in making a butterfly creepy? Am I overly ridiculous about making sure my arthropods are scientifically accurate, even though this one is really not? Let me know. What do you think? All right. Got the legs in there. Don't know if I want to give him anything here. Maybe I'll just do kind of some lines here just to indicate a little bit of texture here. I'm going to do more with the abdomen. I want to make it sort of segmented looking. Almost like a bee or something, but a bee or not a bee? That is the question. The answer is no, it's not. It's not a bee. It's a butterfly. Remember, it's a butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. Sorry. All right. The other thing I noticed from doing Inktober that I haven't been doing very much of or very well is adding texture through lines. So I'm so used to just coloring things. I want to add some line texture in here. Oh, hello, Anyanka. Goodbye, Anyanka. She's just passing through. Or she's going to fan me with her tail. Look, it's a fan tail. And she's gone. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of get more like... I did a little bit with the squid, I'm sorry, the kraken the other day, but I wanted to focus more on the little line details on this one. You know, just make it a little bit more detailed in that regard. So that's what I am doing now. right, there we go. Our butterfly. Now I got to get the wings. Now I drew the wings out ahead of time in pencil. It was a little challenging to get them to match, and I can tell they're a little longer on this side. I think that's going to be okay though, because I'm not going to draw them exactly like I did with the pencil line. I want to make this guy a little bit ripped up and stuff, so that means that I want to distort his wings a little bit, if that makes sense. But I wanted that sort of model to go off of so that I wasn't just drawing completely free-handed at this point. But I see how I'm giving it some tears and stuff and things and stuff. There we go. Because this is supposed to be a scary butterfly. Is it scary for us or scary for you? If you're a butterfly and your wings look like that, it's probably scary for you. So, yeah. So there's one part of the top wing. Butterflies have two wings, and guess what? They are attached to the thorax. Always the thorax. If you see an insect that has wings, those wings are attached to the thorax. There are no exceptions that I know of to this. There could be that I'm unaware of, but I doubt it, because that's a pretty big structural aspect of being an insect, is having your wings, your legs all on the thorax. Now you may look at a caterpillar and go, Matt, the caterpillar is essentially a baby butterfly or moth, and some of them have more than 6 legs. I say no. They may have something called pseudopods, which just sounds really Cthulhu-ish, doesn't it? Pseudopods. But those are not true legs. Those are fleshy bits, appendages that function and act like legs, but they're not the actual legs. They will have 6 legs on them as well, but they are going to be, on a caterpillar, it's usually very compressed. The head and the thorax are usually very compressed, and then the abdomen is usually much longer on that animal. So it's part of being a baby butterfly. Maybe this butterfly was even cute as a baby. I don't know. All right, top wings outline is done. Let's move on to the bottom portion of the wing. Again, I want to just kind of make it look kind of raggedy, like, you know, this butterfly's seen better days. The bummer about being a butterfly is once you're an adult, you pretty much don't live very long. Most species, there are some that live longer than others, but a lot of times it's, you know, you're talking about a lifespan measured in weeks. Not months, not years, but weeks. Some cases, maybe even days. It's rough being a butterfly. It is rough. Here we go. Now, get this wing in here. Maybe make a little tear right there. I like it. I like it. Okay. Do this side now. I have noticed this year doing Inktober that I am spending less time on each drawing, and I think that is significant in some ways. I was just listening to a podcast that is done by Jake Parker, who started the whole Inktober thing, and Will Terry, and oh, I don't think they'll ever listen to this, but if they do, please forgive me. I can't remember the other guy's name, but it's a great podcast, and they are all also teachers at SVS Learning. I've taken some of their courses. They all have YouTube channels. Really nice guys and really great instructors, and full of information. And they were talking about Inktober and just art challenges in general. And I thought they had some interesting insights, especially Jake Parker, about the value of participating in something like Inktober. So, you know, I mean, the other guys were kind of razzing him a little bit about it just for fun, because that's, you know, that's what they do. But Jake was able to defend himself pretty well. And the value of something like this it varies. It's different for different people. It could be that you just want to get better at inking, or maybe you just want to get more consistent and get into a pattern of creating drawings every day, or maybe you just want to start drawing again, or for the first time. It can mean different things to different people, but the important thing to remember is Inktober and other drawing challenges are what you make of them, and the only person that rules should matter to is yourself. Whatever rules you make for yourself, that should really be the only ones that you really pay attention to, because the challenge is you are challenging yourself. All right, I'm going to switch to a bigger marker because I want to add some of these patterns in here. I think I'm going to switch to my number one, engage, that little Star Trek for you there, and see what we can do, because I want to add some dark lines here. I kind of modeled the lines of this butterfly roughly after maybe like a monarch butterfly. Here's a little fun entomology fact for you. I was always led to believe that the monarch butterfly is toxic due to the fact that it eats, while it's a caterpillar, it eats the poisonous milkweed plant. Now that is true, okay? That is still a true thing that I know, but I was also led to believe that another butterfly called the viceroy mimics the monarch butterfly so that predators think that it's toxic, when in reality it is not. Well, it turns out that that is not exactly the case. So viceroy butterflies themselves can be toxic, and so they actually have a mutual benefit of both being toxic butterflies. Hello, Anyanka. Goodbye, Anyanka. And so they both benefit, because if a predator eats either one of the species, then it probably won't eat very many more of those if it has a bad reaction to the toxins. Now, the catch is that viceroys are not always toxic and not always of equal toxicity. It depends on where they are and where they are when they're caterpillars and stuff. So it can still be true that they are just simply mimics of the monarch butterfly, but in many cases that is not what's going on there. So yeah, fun fact. All right. This has taken me a long time to color with this particular marker, so I think I'm going to try and switch it up here. And hopefully I don't lose any accuracy. I'm going to switch to a brush marker. My Micron brush marker. Where are you, brush marker? I know that my wife is sitting in the background, probably with her headphones in, so she can't hear me, but whenever she watches these, and I say things like that, she says that I'm doing a Crillyism, because one of my favorite YouTubers is Mark Crilly, who is I think I've mentioned him before in here. He's a super talented artist, amazing teacher, has some great art books, great YouTube channel, and a great personality, and I'm sure that I do occasionally say things that sound a little Crilly-ish. But I like to think I was already a little Crilly-ish before I even knew who Mark Crilly was. I don't know. You be the judge. All right. Regardless, check out Mark Crilly's channel for some truly amazing artwork. And buy his books, because they're awesome. All right. All right, that's helping. I'm going a little faster with this. You guys don't have to sit here for 3.5 years and watch me. See, that was one right there. I'm pretty sure I always talked like that. I don't know. It's hard to say because I've been watching Crilly for a while, so. All right. The unlikely event that Mr. Crilly ever watches this. Thank you. Thank you for influencing my life in a positive way, Mr. Crilly. and so many other artists out there. All right, so get that colored in. I do enjoy drawing with these larger brush markers because it's kind of fun. It's easier to vary the width. I'm not as good at it as I am with digital. I can vary the width pretty well with my digital brushes and such, but there is something about putting ink on paper, or any kind of mark on a paper, pencil, graphite, charcoal, paint, that even though I am primarily a digital person, I have to admit, there's something there. There's something that happens that you just don't get, or at least I don't get digitally. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to stop doing digital. I love the digital art medium. I really do. But, you know, it's good to get back to this sometimes too. Now, some of the things they were talking about in that podcast were things like, should you do Inktober if you are rushing through it? Like if your goal is more about just getting a piece done than it is to making it look good. Like, are you wasting your time? Like, are you doing it for the wrong reasons? And one argument is yes, because what are you learning from it? What are you gaining from it? But another argument was, well, no, because you are gaining something from it. You're gaining the fact that you are putting art out there. You're making art. Now, it depends a little bit on the level of artist that you are. So if you're pretty amateurish like myself, then it's good. Just get that artwork out there. Let people see it. Give me a thumbs up. It makes me feel good. And, you know, encourages me to do more art. I feel like I am a little more accountable to somebody. You know, I may not get it done if it's just myself that I'm doing it for, that kind of thing. If you are, you know, professional or on the verge of becoming professional, maybe you want to be a little bit more careful about putting some sloppy piece of art up. Not that I'm saying this is sloppy, but I am going faster than maybe I would on... Like last year, I spent probably 1 to 4 hours every single picture last year. And this year I'm spending an average of probably about 30 to 40 minutes per picture. So the quality is different. And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. But, you know, it depends on what your goals are. So when you do one of these, set your goals. That was one of the things they were talking about. Set your goals. What are you trying to gain from this art challenge? Why are you doing this art challenge? And, you know, make sure that you are functioning within those goals that you have set. If not, then maybe you should reevaluate how you're doing it or why you're doing it or if you should do it. But in most cases, I think that you should do it. But maybe, let's say that you are more verge professional and you're worried, you know, somebody's going to look at this and judge your whole portfolio by it or something like that. Well, then maybe don't do a drawing every day. Maybe do a drawing a week and spend more time polishing that drawing for Inktober or something like that. Or maybe just spend more time with it if that's what you need to do. If you think it's going to be valuable, then do it that way. But think about it. That's the important thing, I think, is just to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. All right. And also realize that you will definitely be, in almost every case, you will be your harshest critic. So when you look at that piece of art and you want to describe it as a piece of something else, keep in mind that most other people will look at it and they won't see it that way. Now, maybe somebody who is evaluating it from like a professional standpoint might be more critical or something about it, but if you're just like me and you're not making art to really try and impress anybody, you're just trying to challenge yourself and your own skills, then the people that are going to be looking at it, they're going to be impressed, because there are a lot of people out there that can't do this because they have never really put the time and energy into it. And they are amazed by what you can do. So be confident. Own your work. And don't worry if you are not as good as somebody else you're looking at out there, because I got news for you. Ain't never going to happen. There's always going to be somebody better out there. Always going to be somebody better. And if you discourage yourself because you're not good enough, you're not going to practice, you're not going to get better. So don't do that. Don't be that person. Be comfortable with where you are. And the only person that you should normally be comparing yourself to is yourself. Look at your artwork from 6 months ago, from 6 years ago. Have you improved? That's where you need to make your commitment to get better. That's who you need to impress. Is that too preachy? I'm being too preachy? I don't know. Just trying to help. These are things I struggle with too. You know? I look at other artwork and go, wow. That's amazing. I should just stop. I should just throw in the towel. I'm never going to be that guy or girl. But I don't. Be proud of your work. I will say, though, if you get to a level where you're like, I could never get better, I'm the best, then maybe you need to think about that too, because that can be a problem as well. If you ever look at your artwork and you don't see ways you could improve on it, there's a problem there, because there's always something you can do to improve. And maybe you need to be more critical of your own work at that point. I have seen people, and maybe been guilty of this myself, when I think that they've created the perfect artwork. And it might be really good, but there's probably something that you could do to make it better next time. Maybe it's just the process that you use to create it. All right, there's a lot of stripes on this butterfly. A lot of stripes. After I get these done, I'm going to go back and I'm going to try and add some more fine details. See how that works out. Oh, and by the way, I've had a couple people who have stopped by this channel very kindly to check out these videos and discovered that they themselves were doing Inktober and had a YouTube channel, and I have very much enjoyed watching some of their videos. If you happen upon this page and you are the same type of person, please let everybody know in the comments that you have a YouTube channel and you are making Inktober videos, so that I can go watch them and other people can as well. I believe in sharing this like a community. It's my philosophy. All right. Almost done with the stripes. If you do enjoy this too, make sure that you look for me on Tuesdays to go live. I try and go live most Tuesdays. I will not be live. Well, I'll probably be live this Tuesday. The following Tuesday, I probably won't be live because I will not be available at that time. But yeah, check out the live streams. You can see me doing this in person and interact with me through chat. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to interacting with you guys and hearing what you have to say. All right, so there is that. Let me switch back to a smaller pen, my number one. I can see I want to even some of these out a little bit, make these lines roughly the same width. It's a shame because I like that other line better, but it is what it is. All right, I'm actually going to go to a smaller brush, the 08. Okay, now we want to add some texture. Actually, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go smaller than this. This is an 8. All right, we were with a 1. Let's go down to a 3. Just because I want to get some really fine details on this, I want to add some details and texture, just some more like kind of tears and stuff. You know, man. But is he creepy looking? That's what I need to know. Did I succeed in making a creepy butterfly? Or is he just weird looking? I don't know. You decide. All right, we're going to try and go a little crazy. We're going to get some little hatching in here and stuff. So when you draw with ink, obviously you can't shade with different tones and stuff. So you have to use dots or lines or crossed lines, and this is how we shade. And so it's not a technique that I am used to using or that I'm very good at. So we're just kind of experimenting. Hopefully I won't mess this drawing up. But if I do, I'm not that worried about it, because that's kind of what Inktober's all about, taking chances. If I mess it up, then I mess it up. Ideally, the way this works is, obviously if you have the lines, that's representing a shadow. The closer the lines are together, it's going to look darker. Of course, with this guy, it's, I'm also just trying to add a little bit of texture to the wings and stuff here. So we'll see how we go. And also, butterflies have like these, like if you look at them up close, their wings are kind of scaled, so maybe I can represent that a little bit. can also give like curves and stuff in here, you know, to help represent the what this looks like three-dimensionally. But here I'm just really trying to add a little texture on here. I think I'm going to make this, I'm going to make his eyes all black. I might add a little white highlight. If I should do like a shadow, his arms, legs, sorry, legs. There, I think that's all right. Got my little white ink here just to add a little highlight back into the eyes. All right, let's erase all these pencil lines. Sorry if the camera is shaking. Oh, I smeared my white. Let me fix that. Apparently that doesn't dry as quickly. There we go. Ta-da! And here we have it. The scary butterfly. Just write it in there. Scary butterfly. Scary butterfly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications and go over to the Facebook channel, Facebook group, Creature Science Illustrated on Facebook so that you can check out more artwork over there. Until next time, have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.